What was it that happened on the evening of August 21st, 1955? Some 8 miles north of Hopkinsville, Kentucky, remains a mystery after nearly 60 years. Billy Ray Taylor and his wife were visiting their friends Cecil Lucky Sutton and his family at Sutton's mother's, Glennie Langford's home. It was a small farmhouse located 8 miles north of Hopkinsville with no running water. In all, there were 11 people in the home. At around 7 p.m, Billy Ray went to the well for water. While outside, he noticed an object moving in the sky, a bright, glowing disc. He kept a close eye on the disc for a few minutes before it vanished from view. When Billy Ray got home and informed the others what he had seen, no one believed him and dismissed the sighting as a shooting star. As the group sat around the house, the dog started barking erratically. Then Glennie Langford, who was in one of the bedrooms, let out a harrowing scream. Langford then claimed to the others that she had seen a strange-looking, grey-skinned creature peering through the window. Billy Ray and Cecil Sutton, in a panic, grabbed guns and rushed outside. As soon as the two left the house, they saw a bizarre humanoid creature moving towards them. The thing was 3 to 4 feet tall, had very long thin arms, black large eyes and an oversized head. The Hopkinsville Goblin, as this creature is often referred to, appeared to just float off the ground. The men opened fire on the creature, and they were sure they hit it. One of them said, "It sounded like a rock hitting a can." Then, as the two stood on the porch, a large hand came down from the roof and grabbed Billy's hair. They saw more of the creatures and opened fire. However, their bullets seemingly had no effect. There were now creatures on the roof and in the nearby trees, about a dozen in total. The men watched as the creatures appeared to float from the roof and the trees to the ground and back up. At this point, the terrified men decided to retreat to the hopeful safety of their house. The 11 people within the home had every reason to want the creatures to go, but they didn't. The creatures began peering through the windows and doors as if they were curious. As the group was sat in the house, Glennie, who was deeply religious, started saying prayers. Cecil speculated that they could have been the cave goblins, which the local folklore talked about. But Billy stated that he saw the craft outside the house and said with confidence that the creatures are aliens. As they were speculating, one of the kids screamed because the creatures had returned and was looking through one of the bedroom windows. Clearly, the weapons the men had were totally ineffective on the creatures, but that didn't stop them from shooting more rounds through the windows and doors. By 11 p.m, the group, terrified and in a panic, decided they needed to escape, so they opened the door and ran as fast as they could to the 2 parked cars outside. The group then sped away in the darkness to the nearest town of Hopkinsville. They arrived at the sheriff's office and spoke with Sheriff Russell Greenwell. Of course, Greenwell knew all the people involved and could see they were truly terrified. Greenwell would later say these were not the kind of people who could be easily scared. The sheriff and a total of about a dozen law enforcement officers descended on the home, which was full of bullet holes and smashed windows. The officers stayed at the scene until shortly after 2 a.m, but there was no sign of the creatures. It seemed they were just hiding, and soon after the officers left, the creatures reappeared. The creatures reportedly continued to torment the people in the house until about 4:30 a.m, when they just seemed to disappear, never to be seen again. Initially, the family did talk about their experience. However, they didn't want anything more to do with the property and the area. They then sold up and moved on, never returning. So what really happened so many years ago when the creatures invaded the small farmhouse? I hope you enjoyed this mystery, and before you go to bed tonight, make sure you close your curtains, as you never know what is lurking outside.